Hey, everyone, welcome to our brand new channel. If you love watching these type of amazing stories, please subscribe. Let's begin. The story begins in the year 1944. At that time, World War II was going on, and the sound of gunfire echoed everywhere. In the Pacific Ocean, we see an American captain named Allison. His group had been attacked by Japanese soldiers. Somehow, Allison managed to escape and reach a rubber raft. He drifted in the ocean for many days. Allison kept moving forward alone until one day he spotted an island. Seeing this, he quickly paddled his raft toward the island. Reaching the shore, he pulled his raft aside and began looking around for help. But all he could see were trees, rocks, and bushes. Then his eyes caught sight of a small church. When Allison went inside, he saw a Catholic nun coming out. Her name was Angela. Angela was frightened upon seeing him, but Allison quickly said, "Don't be afraid, I'm an American. You are not in any danger from me." He asked her, "How many people live here?" Angela replied, "I live here alone." Hearing this, Allison could hardly believe it. Angela then took him to her shelter and gave him food to eat. Allison asked, "Why are you living here alone?" Angela said, "I came to this island with a priest. We had to rescue some elderly priests from the Japanese soldiers. But by the time we reached here, the Japanese had already arrived and captured those priests. Seeing the situation of war, we decided to hide here for a few days. But after a while, the priest I came with fell ill and passed away. Since then, I've been living here alone. My people must have thought the Japanese caught me too, so no one came to rescue me." Allison also shared his story with her. "I'm a Marine," he said. "Our group was attacked by Japanese soldiers, and I somehow escaped with my life and reached here." After this, Allison took some rest. When he woke up, he saw Angela lighting candles and praying to God, asking for guidance. Then the two went outside in search of food. Allison climbed a tree to pluck coconuts and fruits and handed them down to Angela. But Allison needed something with more protein to eat. Soon, he spotted a turtle swimming in the sea. Seeing this, he grabbed a rope and a stick, got into the raft, and Angela joined him. They rowed toward the turtle. But catching it wasn't easy. During the attempt, Allison fell into the sea. With Angela's help, he managed to get back into the raft with the turtle. After returning to the island, Allison cooked and ate it. He said to Angela, "We have everything we need on this island. Even if no one comes to rescue us, we can still survive." Angela asked him, "Who do you have at home?" Allison replied, "I'm an orphan. I lived in an orphanage for 14 years. After finishing my studies, I decided to join the army because I wanted to do something for my country." Angela also told him, "I'm an orphan too. I have great faith in God, and that's why I decided to become a nun. It gives me peace and happiness, and I want to guide people toward the right path." Allison and Angela were very different from each other. Angela was calm, patient, and deeply religious. She prayed regularly and had complete faith in God. Allison, on the other hand, wasn't very spiritual and had a tough, soldier-like attitude. The next day, they saw Japanese fighter planes in the sky. Seeing this, Allison quickly took Angela and hid, fearing that if they were spotted, they would be killed. Allison told her, "We must stay hidden for a few days. I've seen a cave nearby. It'll be safer to live there." Angela agreed, and the two moved into the cave, where they stayed all day. The next morning, they heard loud explosions. When Allison peeked outside, he saw Japanese planes heavily bombing the island. Angela got scared and began to pray. Allison comforted her and told her to stay calm. After some time, when the planes left, they came out of the cave and found everything destroyed. Their shelter and even the church were reduced to rubble. Soon, a unit of Japanese soldiers landed on the island to set up a weather observation camp. They destroyed the raft that Allison had arrived in. Seeing this, Allison and Angela hid again in the cave, surrounded by enemy soldiers. Allison became alert and told Angela to stay quiet while he stood guard with a knife. Luckily, the soldiers didn't enter the cave and eventually moved away. At this point, Angela told Allison, "I will surrender myself to the Japanese soldiers. I believe they won't harm a nun. This will give you a chance to escape. She added, "We have no food left either." But Allison refused, saying, "We can't take that risk. They could do anything to you. We must stay hidden." That evening, Allison went out of the cave and saw that the Japanese soldiers had built several camps. Avoiding them, he went to the shore to catch fish. However, some Japanese soldiers saw him. Thinking quickly, Allison pretended to be dead. The soldiers checked but didn't suspect anything and left. Allison then caught some fish and returned to the cave to share with Angela. But Angela, having taken vows as a nun, had stopped eating fish long ago. Still, with no other food available, she was forced to eat it. The raw fish didn't sit well with her, and she vomited. She went to sleep without eating further. Later that night, when she was asleep, Allison quietly went out of the cave to observe the enemy's movements. He darkened his face with soot so no one could recognize him, and sneaked into the Japanese camp. He began filling a bag with food supplies when suddenly a soldier entered. Allison hid silently, unable to escape, and had to stay there the whole night. The next morning, when the soldiers went out for training, he slowly slipped out with the bag full of food and hid nearby. Meanwhile, when Angela woke up and found him missing, she panicked, thinking Allison had been killed, and started crying. Soon after, Allison returned safely. Angela was overjoyed to see him alive. He explained, "I went to the camp to get food." Angela got angry and said, "You left without telling me." I was so scared, Allison apologized and promised, "I won't do it again." The next day, Allison gifted Angela a flower and a comb, which made her smile. He asked, "Don't you ever wish to leave your nun's life and live a normal one?" Angela explained that she hadn't yet taken her final vows. Becoming a nun officially takes 5 years so that one can decide freely. She admitted she wasn't entirely firm in her decision yet. By now, Allison had developed feelings for Angela. He didn't want her to become a nun permanently. Just then, they heard noises outside. The Japanese soldiers were leaving the island. Both were overjoyed. Using the supplies left behind by the Japanese, they no longer had trouble finding food. Later, Allison opened up about his loneliness, saying he had suffered much in life, but was now happy with her. He confessed, "I've fallen in love with you. I want you to give up your decision to become a nun and marry me after the war." Angela was stunned. She said, "I have dedicated myself to God. I cannot betray my faith to be with someone else." Allison was deeply hurt but said, "If my words have offended you, please forgive me." That night, they sat together for dinner when Allison found a bottle of Japanese wine. He drank too much and, in his drunken state, began mocking Angela's vows, saying they were pointless. He compared them to Adam and Eve, claiming they were like the first man and woman stranded on the island. Angela, heartbroken and humiliated, ran out into the forest in the rain and fell asleep in the cold. Allison searched for her but couldn't find her. The next morning, he found her unconscious, carried her in his arms back to the camp, and discovered that the Japanese soldiers had returned. He quickly took her into the cave again. Angela's condition worsened. To save her, Allison risked his life, sneaked into the Japanese camp, and stole blankets and medicine. But he was spotted by a soldier. To protect himself, Allison stabbed and killed the man, hiding the body. He returned to the cave, changed Angela's wet clothes, gave her medicine, and for the first time in his life, prayed to God. The next morning, Angela regained consciousness and asked, "Who changed my clothes?" Allison told her he did, seeing her condition. He apologized again, saying, "I was drunk last night. I didn't mean what I said." Angela forgave him. Suddenly, they heard explosions outside. Allison went out and saw the Japanese bombing the island again. The soldiers had discovered that one of their men was missing, the one Allison killed. They were now searching everywhere for him. Allison explained to Angela that he had to kill the soldier in self-defense. Angela was saddened and prayed for forgiveness. Meanwhile, some Japanese soldiers approached the cave and shouted, "If anyone is inside, come out, or we'll throw grenades." Allison and Angela were terrified. Angela began to pray, convinced they were about to die. But just then, a massive explosion shook the island, followed by gunfire and shouting. Allison realized that American forces had begun bombing the island. They rushed out of the cave and saw American planes attacking the Japanese soldiers. Both were overjoyed. Allison said, "Landing won't be easy for them. The Japanese have set up 4 heavy cannons across the island. I must disable them," he added. "God must want me to help my fellow soldiers." Angela gave him her blessing to go. Allison ran through explosions and gunfire, disabling one cannon after another, even as he got wounded. Somehow, he destroyed all 4, saving many American lives. The bombing stopped and Angela came out of the cave. Seeing Allison injured, she began tending to his wounds. Allison told her softly, "It's time for us to part ways." "We may never meet again," Angela replied. "Even if I can't spend my life with you, you will always remain in my heart." Soon after, the American Navy landed on the island and raised their flag. When the captain saw Allison alive, he was shocked. They had believed he was dead. Soldiers placed Allison on a stretcher and carried him away, with Angela walking silently behind. Allison never forced his love on her, and always respected her decision to remain a nun. Angela, too, understood his feelings deeply. And thus, the film ends. Please subscribe our channel for next amazing story.